Greetings everyone, this is Alt Lexington on the 26th of August 2019, and look at this! What a beauty! It's a ship made of chocolate. Yep, it's the Galaxy X Dreadnought. This is what I wanted to show off today. And guess what? Probably seen it in the title. I've made a torpedo boat out of it. And I've been having so much fun with it, it's unreal. So let's get into the build. Here we go. Fleet Dreadnought Cruiser. So as you can see, I've got 8 torpedoes, which is a bit odd. I've just gone with all torpedoes because what the hell, it's fun. So let's start with the first torpedo is the Advanced Temporal Defense Chroniton torpedo launcher. On its own, without any of its set. That looks like this one fires pretty fast and frequently. It's probably the one that fires the most out of all of them. And it puts out a nice sort of rainbowy type explosion around the target, especially on torpedo spread. We've got the Neutronic Torpedo, which is probably one of the heaviest hitting torpedoes that I've come across. And it's on its own without any of its set. The Quantum Phase Torpedo with none of its set. And I believe this one can drain shields a bit. And a Radiant Torpedo with none of its set. These are all... this one comes from the Iconian Reputation. This one is a mission reward. This one comes from the Delta Reputation, and this one from the Temporal Reputation. On the back we've got the Agony Phaser Torpedo, which is like a... These forward ones are all kinetic damage, whereas this one is an energy damage torpedo using phaser energy. So it's like a big phaser cannon. We've got a Tricobalt Torpedo. You've got to be careful when firing torpedoes because their explosions can damage you, which I've noticed, especially with this Tricobalt one. I believe it has a 1 kilometer blast radius, so if you're caught a bit too close to the enemy, you will die. And it's a bit of an odd choice to use a Tricobalt since it kills you sometimes. But I just like it because I've got a duty officer that works with it. We've got the Terran Task Force Photon Torpedo. That comes with a console. They come from the Terran Task Force Reputation, but I'm using it with its console as well for a reason. We'll get to that. And a Gravimetric Photon Torpedo. This one puts out little gravimetric anomalies that interfere with your target. And it's on its own. It's from, I believe it... I'm trying to remember what reputation it comes from. I can't remember right now, and looking it up will take too long, but it is a reputation one. We've got the Undying Reputation Counter Command Deflector Array, because it improves torpedo... Yes, 21 .3 Starship projectile training. Improves kinetic weapon damage. So that will help out my kinetic torpedoes. We've got the adapted Mako combat impulse engines along with their shield as well from the Omega reputation. So that's a two-piece set, we'll get to that. And the Iconian warp core. It's just a good core to have. And as I said, it's a two-piece adapted Mako with the engines, and if we click on it and go to more details, you can see that you get 25% torpedo damage for having two pieces of the Omega set. And you get an auxiliary boost, and I'll get to that as well. Red matter capacitor for a little power boost. Not that I ever really need it. Subspace field modulator for a poor man's cloak. Temporal negotiator to reduce cooldown of my bridge officer abilities. This comes from the Phoenix box. This comes from a Cardassian episode, I believe, where you fight the Cardassians and the Davidians on board one of their ships. One of the Cardassian ships. And this one is a mission reward, I believe. Down here we've got this console, Point Defense Bombardment, which comes from Captain Archer's NX class Enterprise, a Lobie-Store ship, and it gives plus 25% projectile damage. Now this is the second piece of my Terran Task Force 2 piece from the Terran reputation. It goes with the Terran Torpedo. On its own it gives you a little more auxiliary, which helps with torpedoes, and a torpedo recharge time, but if you click on it for the two-piece information, you get 13.3% projectile damage for having two pieces of this set. We got a Lobie-Store console for crit chance and crit severity, but mostly for speed and turn rate. We've got Bioneural for its crit severity. That's another Lobie-Store one, so these two are Lobie-Store ones. Conductive RCS with EPS. I've mostly got this on not for the power transfer rate, the EPS. I've mostly got it on for a little extra shielding and flight speed and turn rate, because this ship is very slow and not very maneuverable, which is not good for a torpedo boat. So I've had to try and boost the speed and turn rate up quite a bit just to get it to an acceptable level, and it's still a bit subpar. This is a Lobie-Store console, Rule 62 multi-purpose combat console. It gives you 19.7 torpedo damage. This one comes from the episode I think it's called Butterfly. It's where you beam down to Romulus, where you change the timeline with Nog on his time ship, Clementine ship, and you beam down to an assimilated Romulus and fight an elite tactical drone called Hakeev. And this is because I've got a lot of auxiliary power on this ship, and it gives you critical chance, critical severity with auxiliary, but it also gives you damn good shielding. And the shields do go down quite a bit on this ship. This gives me some resistances, because without it I'd have practically none. This is a Lobie-Store console, Bounty Hunter's friend. The resistances it gives is 39.4 energy damage resistance. And I've gone with vulnerability exploiters from the Fleet Spire. I didn't go with vulnerability oh god, what's the other one called? I think you know what I mean. Vulnerability locators, that's it. I didn't go with them because I found on a torpedo boat critical damage is more important than getting a bullseye. It's more important, critical severity is more important than critical chance. It's not so much about getting the bullseye, it's about how much damage you do when you get it. So I boosted the damage of the torpedoes rather than the chance of getting a critical hit. And I've got 3 of them, all for torpedo, all with the torpedo mod. And these advanced Delta flyers, I believe they come with the ship as rare blue when you buy it, but I went to the dilithium store and bought the very rare purple ones, and it can launch 4 of them at a time. My hull is pretty good, 120,000, and you need good hull on this ship because it's so slow and its turn rate isn't very good. My power transfer rate is way above what it needs to be, but that's a side effect of having this console and this one. They give power transfer rate. Not that I really need it. My shields are pretty good in capacity, but they do drain very quickly, even with Bounty Hunter's energy damage resistance. And I haven't got much regeneration on them, the way this build has worked out. So they do go down and they're pretty hard to get back up again. The shields do go down and they're pretty hard to get back up. Here's the all-important figures. We don't care about accuracy, especially with torpedo spread, because torpedo spread doesn't actually hit the target. It detonates a spread of torpedoes around the targets, so that the blast waves will connect with the target. But high yield does hit directly onto the target. We'll get to those. Critical chance isn't very high, but you don't really need it with torpedoes. They generally hit anyway. Critical severity 160. That's quite high for any normal ship, bearing in mind I have no endeavours done. And that's what you really want on a torpedo boat, or in my experience, for the way I fly. It doesn't matter how often you get a critical hit, as long as your critical hits are big. We'll go to tactical. We haven't got much to say about there except kinetic weapon damage. We'll go to science. Now this is terrible. Resistances are low. Shield drain is extremely low. That's why my shields go down so much and are hard to get back up. And exotic damage is low. Not that we're using too much exotics, but we have got Tachyon beam mostly to drain shields so that my kinetic torpedoes can get through the shields. Engineering, we've got a fair bit of maximum hit points. Now if you can see this, flight speed is quite low and turn rate is quite low, but they're passable. This ship is a bit of a slow, lumbering lughead of a ship. And ideally I would like better speed, better turn rate on the torpedo boat, but what can you do with the gear you have? For skills, this is the same skill tree I use all the time. I don't change it. That's why I've got energy weapons here, even though I'm not actually using energy weapons. But at least I've got projectile training. I thought one of these other ones, hull penetration and long range targeting. So there's not much to say about my skill tree except it's tactical, ultimate, and a little bit of engineering thrown in, and a tiny bit of science, but not much. No exotics to boost my Tachyon beam, but it costs money to change your skill tree too much, so I don't bother. And the torpedo boat works fine anyway. For specializations, I've got command officer, because this is a command ship. That's why my hull is quite high and my hit points are pretty good. And strategist, basically for diversionary tactics, to take the heat off of me when I generate too much threat, because this is not a threat boat. Although torpedoes do tend to generate a lot of threat. For traits, for my space traits, with auxiliary power set to high, you get, with EPS overload and auxiliary power down here set to high, you get an extra 20% critical severity, which is useful for torpedoes. This adds 10 skills, adds 10 points to most starship skills, and it stacks up to 3 times. Useful. 2% damage per team member. Well, I don't often do teams, so that's just there in case I join a match. Crit chance and crit severity, that's when I could drop for something else if I feel like it, because it doesn't give them much, but it is a percentage, not a point. A critical hit gives my projectiles more shield penetration. And this one, minus threat generation, that's good on this ship, and critical severity. We got both torpedo training for extra torpedo damage, and coalition tactics for probably best for team matches really. So that's why I don't see my shield regen too much. Starship traits, reverberation. I believe this comes from the Arami smuggler's vessel. I can't be certain, but that's where I think it comes from. I think it was in the TNG episode Unification, where the Enterprise hid within a junkyard and it was attacked by a smuggler ship. I believe that's the Arami class smuggler ship. I believe it has a chance of knocking a subsystem on the enemy offline when using projectiles. This one, checkmate. Control effects will increase my projectile damage. Well, I'm not really using any control effects, so I don't really know why I put this on there. I've got Tachyon beam. I don't know if that counts as a control effect. I really should look into that actually, since I'm not really using much control effects. Numerical superiority for team matches, and I think it affects NPCs as well if they're allied with you. Peak efficiency for the cooldowns, and tactical advantage for the armor penetration. I believe that, yeah, this one comes from the Arami, this one comes from one of the flagships. I think this one might come from the Presidio tactical command ship, but I'm not sure. This one comes from the Herald Bomb, and this one I believe comes from the Lobistor Jem'Hadar cruiser, but I can't be certain. My memory's terrible, but I'm trying to remember. For space reputation, auxiliary power offensive for extra damage. We've got crit severity, which is good for torpedoes. This is an important one. Torpedo pre-fire sequence that gives bonus torpedo damage and extra flight speed for your torpedoes. Now there is another one. Let me find it. I think it's this one. Using a shield healing bridge officer ability reduces torpedo bridge officer ability recharge times, making your torpedoes fire faster. But I prefer to have the extra damage and flight speed rather than the extra loading time that this gives. So this makes your torpedoes fly faster, whereas this makes them fire more often. And I prefer them flying faster, because I think they fire often enough as it is. We've got armor penetration, and this gives damage over time to your torpedoes. I think I could go without armor penetration and put on that torpedo reload time. Where's it gone? Oh god, I can't find it. It's gone. But you know the one I mean. The one I just pointed out. Where the hell did it go? There it is, using a shielding thing reduces. In fact, I think I might actually go without the armor penetration. Because I use a lot of shield healing, but you can only use it so often because it goes into cooldown. But since I'm using it quite a lot, this might be beneficial to make my torpedoes fire faster, but I believe their recharge time is reduced to global as it is, so I don't think this will increase my recharge time any quicker for things like torpedo spread and high yield torpedo. That will require more testing. I think I did try it, and I don't think I felt any difference in the recharge speeds for torpedo high yield or torpedo spread, because I think they're as low as their recharge speed is as low as it can go anyway. So this can't make it go any lower than the lowest it can go. And for my active reputation, I've just got the space ones, which is the cloak, the decoy, the anti-time bubble, the healing bubble, and the chaining Tachyon damage. For bridge officer stations, well, I needed 2 science officers because I wanted science team for the shield heal, hazard emitters for the cleanse and hull hit points. But I also wanted to drain the shields of enemies to help with my kinetic torpedoes penetrating shielding. This guy is a hierarchy officer with space trait, pirate and efficient. Pirate's the one you really want. And this is just a random science guy that I had because of lack of options. And this might help my Tachyon beam a little. For engineer, Spock hologram came from a S.T.O promotion that I once did, one of these officers. For my engineer, he's a Nautican, he has pirate trait, and he comes from leveling up one of your commendation duty officer assignment schools. And once you've leveled it up to rank 4, you can visit Admiral Quinn's office. There's a guy there that will give you this officer. I believe it's your engineering school you have to level up. Duty officer commendation schools, which is, I believe it's this one, engineering, at rank 4 to get the officer. Yeah, select a single purple quality duty officer. I believe it's engineering, but don't count on it. It's one of them, I know for the sure. Now he's got reverse shield polarity because I need to recharge my shields quite a lot on this ship. He's got emergency power to engines because, as I say, this is a slow ship with slow turn rate, so just in case I need a little speed boost, but it doesn't really make much difference, to be honest. Structural integrity collapse, anything to help your kinetic damage. It reduces resistances on the enemy to kinetic damage, which is good for torpedoes. And I went with emergency power to auxiliary instead of emergency power to weapons, because I found when flying a torpedo boat I get more damage if I have auxiliary raised up rather than weapons. I did try running with them both set to high, but I found the more I pushed up auxiliary, the more damage came from my torpedoes. So I didn't need weapons at all, because I'm not using energy weapons. I think torpedoes work better with auxiliary. And because this ship is so slow, the next one I put up was engines, to try and speed me up a little bit to get it as fast as I could with the best turn rate I could, but it still is a bit subpar. And the other two I just left where they lie. I've got a second engineer. She's another hologram, and she has the standard Uhura. She has the standard leadership on most humans that have a space trait, and she's also got technician for kinetic damage. And I've gone with engineering team to repair my hull, and concentrate firepower, which marks a foe, so that when you deal kinetic damage to that marked enemy, probably your primary target, you'll get 15% extra kinetic damage with 100% shield penetration. Now that is important. It comes from the command specialization. And it gives you an extra high yield torpedo. I believe. Grants torpedo high yield 1 to 1 damager and resets torpedo cooldown. So it will turn one of your non-high yields into a high yield, I believe, if I understand it right. And I put it on twice so I can keep as much uptime on these as possible. So I can get that extra 15%. The rank 2 gives you 15, the rank 3 gives you 20%. And I've put them on my keybind as well to keep them going, along with high yield. We'll get to that. For duty officers, extra damage versus Borg, who he works in space, but even though he's a ground officer, he still works on space. Not that I fight Borg that much, but I always keep him there anyway. And he also comes from the promotion tab in the Zen store. For my space duty officers, projectile critical chance, when using torpedoes of course. It's not much, but it does. 20% chance plus 1% critical chance for 15 seconds, stacks up to 3 times, so that is not bad actually, now that I look at it. I believe he comes from a Delta duty officer pack, if memory serves. Law, chance to reduce the recharge time for torpedoes. He is a free officer that comes from Nimbus Wasteland, and he reduces the recharge time for high yield and torpedo spread, so that you can fire them more often. And I've got a second version of him that wasn't free, but I can't remember where I picked him up from. He could have come from a duty officer assignment for all I know. Fabrication engineer. This one must have come from the Xindi lockbox or from Xindi duty officer reinforcement pack. Now the reason I've got him on is because Tricobalt torpedoes have a chance of a higher flight speed, which is important because Tricobalt torpedoes are usually very slow in their flight speed and they can be shot down quite easily by the enemy. And the enemy will shoot them down because they do a lot of kinetic damage. So I wanted to speed them up a bit. Trouble is, now that they're flying faster and firing more often, I tend to get caught in their blast wave. So that helps my Tricobalt torpedo. And I've got 2 damage control engineers to reduce the recharge time for emergency power 2. And emergency power 2, well, I've got emergency power to auxiliary and emergency power to engines, and these will reduce the recharge time for those things. So I put my hangar pets on my keybind because I always forget to launch them. Emergency power to auxiliary to keep the auxiliary strong because I get more torpedo damage from auxiliary than I do from weapons. In fact, weapons doesn't really make a difference, but auxiliary does. on the amount of damage your torpedoes do. Well, it works that way for me. And my two command things to keep them chained and going as much as possible. My high yield torpedo to keep that going as much as possible. Tactical team to put my best shields between me and the enemy. This will let me think. Yeah, it drains the auxiliary power from the enemy and gives it to me. And this comes from being an engineer and getting to, I think it's level 63. Intrusive energy redirection. It puts out, anyway, whenever I click it, it puts out a swirly thing that attaches to 3 enemies, I believe, and sucks them of power and gives that power to me. Hazard emitters again for the hit points and the cleanse of debuffs. And EPS power transfer, that's also another engineering thing. And it works with my trait, my EPS personal trait as well. Let's go back to that just for a quick look. There it is. This attaches to this for the extra critical severity. This is from the command specialization. Removal of debuffs and control effects. This Phaser Spinal Lance, it is a feature of this ship. Whether you've got weapons on this ship or not, you'll still get this because it comes with the ship. It's this big thing on the bottom here that you saw in the last episode of The Next Generation. It cut through Klingon / Romulan ships. And it does tend to miss the enemy when you fire it, because it's not a very accurate weapon, but when it does hit, it does some pretty good damage, plus I believe it will also drain some shielding so that you can get your torpedoes through the shielding. There's the Focused Frenzy from Tactical Skill Tree. Diversionary Tactics to take the heat off of me. So I try to keep high yield going as much as possible, but every now and then I can click a torpedo spread to warn off enemies that are around my primary target. And I usually like to fire Tachyon beam as much as I can at a target to weaken their shields. And structural integrity collapse, that sounds like a good thing to have because you can collapse the enemy's structure and then hit them with a torpedo while it's weak. Well, they're weak. This comes from that Captain Archer's NX class console, and it gives you a point defense bombardment warhead, and when this thing blows it puts out quite a nice pretty pattern of explosion, a single big explosion with a pretty pattern on it, and it looks really cool, but it just doesn't fire that often, and it's slow moving. When you hit this button, it will launch a platform that will will fly towards the enemy, shooting them as it flies, and when it finally gets close enough to the enemy, it will detonate in a beautiful big explosion. And my pets are at attack mode, because anything that provides distraction away from me is good, since my flight speed is low and my shield's drained a lot. And if we look at how much damage each torpedo is doing, 15,700 kinetic damage from my Chroniton, which is the one that fires most often. The Neutronic, 18,000. Well, nearly 19. The Quantum Phase, 15,000. Plus the shield drain from it. The Radiant Quantum Torpedo, 15,000. The Phaser Energy Torpedo, good for draining shields. You need at least one energy torpedo. I should really put this on the front. But it doesn't do much damage, only 10,000. But still, I like to have an energy thing on, just in case. This is the dangerous one that kills me more often than not. I mean, all these torpedoes have the ability to kill me if I'm too close to their blast. But this one does it more often than not. Because it's on the back, I usually launch it when I'm fleeing an enemy. And the only reason I'm fleeing an enemy is because I'm weak. So if I launch this when I'm weak, and I'm too close to the enemy, I die. How much is it doing? It's doing 22,000 kinetic damage, which is a heck of a lot. And it works with, and you get 3 of them from high yield, I believe. Or is it that from spread? We'll see. 14,000 kinetic damage from my Terran Task Force. And 13 from my gravimetric. But the gravimetric is more for the effect. It puts out those red things that are similar to gravity wells, I believe, but they're red and they're weaker. Now, a lot of people, when flying a torpedo boat, they won't have these set to auto fire because they like to click each one to select which one they fire and when they fire it. But I find that too much to think about. I'm trying to click buttons and having to think about which torpedo to launch as well. I find that too much trouble. So I just leave them on auto fire and wait for the surprise to see what torpedo launches, rather than planning my torpedo launches. I just let fate decide which torpedo should be launched when. And usually it's Chroniton most often. So it's your choice whether you want to have these on auto fire or not. I prefer them on auto fire. A lot of torpedo boat flyers don't like it on auto fire because they like to be able to select when they drain shields with a quantum phase or when they want to hit hard with a Tricobalt. That sort of thing, but not me. I'm too lazy. Anyway, that's my torpedo boat. Let's go have a look, see what it does in a couple of advanced system patrols. Let's make sure we're on advanced setting, which we are. And I'm going to try a few different patrols in the Delta Quadrant, first of all, before we do a couple of team matches. So let's exit the Janolan Dyson Sphere into the Delta Quadrant. And see what patrols we can find. I'm not going to do Argala System because everybody does that. I think I'll do. I think it's called Shikari System. Where is it? There it is, Shikari System. I like that one because it's a nice brightly coloured map that allows you to see the detail on your ship. Plus you're fighting robots in a robotic war, so well, what can you complain about when it comes to fighting robots in a robotic war? That's just great. It's one of my favourite patrols. Whoa, what happened there? I hope I explained my build properly. If I didn't, at least you managed to get the gist of what I'm doing, which is the important thing. I'm sure there are way better torpedo boat builders out there. I know there are for a fact, but This is what I'm doing with the gear I have. There's a lot of drift on this ship. It doesn't stop on a dime. When you hit stop, it will keep on going for a little bit, for quite a bit. Anyway, let me just have a quick drink to keep my voice going. Okay, we got coffee, we got torpedoes, we got robots. Couldn't be happier. I love this ship. It's not the greatest damage doer the way I've built it, because I'm not that knowledgeable about these kind of builds, but it does enough damage for me. I believe I tried it in an ISA and it's between 40 and 50k, which is enough. It seems to be able to handle most advanced content. I even tried it on a little bit of Elite the other day, and Elite Patrols I mean, and it seemed to perform okay. It did die a few times, but it performed better than expected. But I still prefer advanced with this ship because its shields go down quite a lot. And here's why I like this system, because the look of your ship shows up really well under this lighting. And I love the chocolate ship. Anyway, let's scan for this freighter, stranded freighter. Narrow scanning area. Hang on, let me stop a moment, and I forgot to mention that my visuals, I'm using the Terran Task Force Shield visual. It's actually the Terran Shield, not the visual fake shield thing. Our GS Impulse engines, which put out the nice swirly effect of my engines like a jet stream. This is what gives my hull the chocolate look. This is what gives my engines the nice stream coming out of them. And this is what makes my deflector look all rainbow, the Temporal Defense deflector. But they're just visuals. You can see the rainbow there. And the chocolate on the ship. And the Argeus engines, there's 4 nice streams coming out the back. Is it pronounced Argeus or Aegis? Dyslexia. Ugh. I know it's called Aegis, but I keep pronouncing it Argeus. Yeah, you can see it's an advanced patrol, just to make sure, because this would just rip through normal difficulty too easily. Narrow again. I like the orange around the nacelles instead of blue. This could be classed as a Terran Empire Galaxy Dreadnought. It's not, but it could be. This is the kind of thing the Terran Empire would put together. Commander Riker's Enterprise D upgrades arch enemy. Alright, let's help out these sorry folk. And here come the robots. That's the first side. Just F-click our way through it because nobody needs to read it. That's the second group of robots. Their enemy. And now we get an option to either side with one of the groups or make them both our enemy. We'll keep the cause for ourselves. And damn you all. Put on a torpedo spread, target one of them. Spam my keybind. And there goes the Chroniton torpedo. Bit of shield drain. With Tachyon beam, and that swirly thing is from my engineering level 63 ability. Change target because I'm in a torpedo boat and I turn slow. Bit more shielding. See if I can get that. And I'm losing my hat. Right, we need some serious shielding now. That's why miraculous repairs is good on this ship. Better zoom out a bit because I'm a bit too close. Get some nice critical hits from this ship. Real nice from those torpedoes. You have to tab target a lot as well because often the system doesn't know which enemy you want it to target. I like to remodulate. Don't really have to, but it's habit. Torpedo spread. That was a neutronic spread by the looks of things. I like the surprise of what it gives me. Structure integrity collapse. More shielding, more hull. And tachyon beam. See how fast the torpedoes are firing? With those torpedo cooldown officers. And my shields are always gone. Structure integrity collapse. Let's fire the point defense bombardment and then let's just fly away and leave it for a moment and see what it does. There it goes. It's firing at the enemy. Wait for it to hit. Put shields on. There's that nice big effect from it. It doesn't do much damage, but it looks really cool. Put on a torpedo spread. And fly away before it blows up and kills me. I think that's all of them. Oh, now Captain's got to pick up his loot. Good bit of loot from these Delta patrols. Good stuff to throw in the replicator. So that's not bad. The way it just... Its shields go down a lot, and sometimes you need to give it some hull as well. And it's very slow at turning and at speed, but it seems to be able to survive in most advanced content most of the time. Not all the time though, it does die. Anyway, let's go find another patrol. I've been having so much fun flying this, watching those criticals fly, especially when you get a good one of over 100,000 on one hit. Okay, what's the next one? I believe there's something with the Hirogen that I wouldn't mind doing. Might be Shikari System. I'll just have to fly around to see if I can find the right patrols. I did do an Argala earlier today on elite setting and I died 3 times. So this ship, you have to be awake if you want to use it on elite. But it can step up to elite if you're awake when flying it, which I wasn't. But I prefer it on advanced because less chance of dying. I mean, that's talking about patrols, that's not team matches. Might take me a while to get to this system. No, we don't want to do that system. I did find one where you're at a Hirogen communications array that was pretty good. And there's a chance of the cooperative turning up to help you. The Bull cooperative. But it doesn't happen every time. I can't remember the name of the system though, so I'm just hoping it's this one. I don't know if it's this one, but we're going in anyway. Yep, we got the right one. So what you got to do here is beam your away team to the Hirogen communications array. Well, it's not a Hirogen array, they just control the arrays. It's built around a black hole. It's the same part of a network of arrays that Voyager used to send the holographic Doctor to communicate with Starfleet, and he found he was on board the Prometheus. Right, where's that Hirogen ship? There it is. Structure integrity collapse, heavy gravimetric, and Tricobalt. That a red effect comes from the gravimetric. Bit of shield drain. Another Tricobalt, that should finish him off. No. Those are my shuttles firing at him. And that was Radiant with Neutronic. And there's another one turned up behind me. Just in time for me to put my shields on. Rotate around. Don't know whether Nadian will help. Probably help resistances. That was Quantum Torpedo. Quantum Phase Torpedo just then. Quantum Phase Torpedo does a lot more damage than its numbers would suggest, I believe. But that's just my experience of it. Always choose the top one so you can continue the match a bit further. It means beaming over more crew. Now we need a torpedo spread here. Put out point defense bombardment as well. And the phaser lance missed, but it still caused damage because even though it misses, it's so powerful that it will still cause damage. A warning shot will cause damage with the spiral lance. You have to tab target sometimes on this. Tricobalt's gone off. The phaser torpedo's going off. More reinforcements on their way. It's a very wide turning circle on this as well, but then it is a big ship, Galaxy class. Torpedo spread. Oh, nice quantum torpedo spread. Need a bit of basic manoeuvres because I got a bit slow there and he got caught, and they put that on me, so they sub-nuked me, so I had to use science team to stop it. And now they've tractor beamed me, and there's no way to escape from tractor beams on this ship. Maybe control effects from boost morale, that might help you escape from a tractor beam. But tractor beams do tend to be a bit of a problem. Okay. Now for the next bit. Good work, bridge officer. Loot, loot, loot. Now pick up my team. I like this patrol. It's just become one of my favourites since I found it because it's nice, quick, and not too difficult. Now we pick up my away team and get our little surprise at the end. I have a strong sub-base signal, and guess who it is? Admiral Quinn in Earth Space Dock. Yep, we've made a transgalactic phone call to Earth Space Dock from the Delta Quadrant. So we can send Admiral Quinn our ship logs and update him on the state of the Delta Quadrant. So that's fun. That was a nice little touch at the end. I think I'll do another patrol before I do the team match, because I just love this ship. It's awkward to fly, but because it's torpedoes, it's fun. Especially wondering what torpedo is going to fire next. I'm surprised we haven't got an endeavour for make a torpedo boat and use it. That would be good fun. I wonder if there's anybody watching and you want me to try some of these patrols on my next builds or whatever they are. Feel free to put a comment in chat to ask me which ones you want me to do. I'll see if I can, if I like them. Now, I enjoyed doing Fern System this morning. I think I might try that one again. That's where you have to defend cooperative ships from 2 cooperative ships, I believe it is, from a Vadwa assault. And the system has some sort of weird radiation effect that whites out your screen from time to time, even worse than Beacon of Kalos does. Might take me a while to get there, unless I was to hit quantum slipstream, but I prefer to just travel. I like exploring from system to system, the slow traditional warp speed way. It's funny saying warp speed is traditional, but I think you can hear in my voice that even though I'm tired and a bit off as usual, I still just love this ship. A torpedo boat that actually works for me. I mean, it may not be a conventional torpedo boat, but it's good enough for me. There's Fern System coming into range. Let's just hope it's not on cooldown from the last time I played it this morning. Beautiful ship. Okay. I have my most fun in this game from patrols. That's why I'm so pleased they're bringing out a new system for doing patrols where hopefully you'll be able to get any reputation mark you want. And hopefully it's not like the Romulan patrols or these Delta patrols where you only get 15 marks. Hopefully you'll get a real amount. Anyway, I've got to repair these cooperative ships because a Vadwa assault is coming. Hey, he's a Borg. He's a Vadwa. And there's the Vardwar ships. So repair cube. Slow down a bit and repair sphere. And now torpedo spread. Oh, we've got to repair cube again. Didn't have to do that last time. And the Chroniton. It's always the Chroniton. I might remove it because I'm getting a bit bored of it now, but it does put out a nice rainbowy type effect over the enemy. And what was that? I think that was Neutronic. There's the gravimetric. And here comes the natural radiation damage from this system that blinds your sensors. Bit of structure integrity and shielding, and launch some, I think those were gravimetrics just then. My shields are going down. Come back around. Drain his shields, fire more torpedoes. Radiance. Tab target again. There goes the phaser torpedo. And something else. It's hard to keep track because there's so many different torpedoes firing. Here comes the natural sensor whiteout. I remember when this system first came out, that sensor whiteout could cause you major damage. Repair the sphere. Got to try and keep them alive. I mean, and actively helping you. Now, structure integrity, bit of focused frenzy. Come on, fire neutronics! Look at that, nice crits. Repair cube, radiant, Chroniton, neutronic, and we got whited out. I didn't know you could repair while fighting. Oh, you can't. Now, structure integrity. There's a Tricobalt, a heavy Tricobalt. That's what high yield does with Tricobalt. It creates a heavy Tricobalt. I like to remodulate. And they always come in behind you because why not? Tab a target that actually lasts you. It's so easy to target torpedoes in this system. You don't want to do that. And we're going to get whited out again, so it Tachyon burst. Structure integrity collapse, that got rid of him. Tab target. I think I'll do my point defense on this one. There it goes. Now switch targets, so the point defense will hurt this one. Try and keep an eye on it, although it might kill me doing so. Will it get him? No, it blew up too soon. They blew it up, I think. They shot my point defense down because it went too slow. It's nice when you're on the tail of an enemy and you're just wearing him down with big hits. I hit miraculous repairs there to get the extra shielding. Not that I needed it, I was a bit too jumpy with that. Structure integrity collapse, heavy Tricobalt phaser, and was that gravimetric? Heavy Tricobalt's moving on to the next target. Torpedoes just keep on firing because of the cooldowns, the reduced cooldowns. Got a high yield neutronic there, I think, which fires 3 of them, if I'm not mistaken. High yield doesn't necessarily fire a high yield torpedo. Sometimes it will fire 2 or 3 at once Don't know what Nadian does, but it might give me resists. Spinal Lance. Straight through it. It went straight through the enemy. Penetrated straight through him and could have hit one behind him if there was one there. I'm not really paying attention to actually the objective in this match. I'm just having fun shooting torpedoes. Heavy Tricobalts. Boom. Right, where are we going? Where are we going? There we are. Hey, he must have hit evasive manoeuvres. Let's give him some of that and some of that. Some structural integrity and a tachyon beam. See, this is just fun. A few beers at night time. A torpedo boat. What more could you ask for? Point defense, structure integrity, collapse, focus frenzy, brace for impact, just in case they try Tricobalt launches. While I was close there. I only just remembered this system this morning and I forgot how much fun it is. I almost tabbed to the wrong target. I like to go for the big ones first. Right, torpedo spread now. When we get in range, if it lasts. Chronitons. Didn't do a very big torpedo spread though. Oh no, that sphere's gonna die. Repair damaged sphere. We can't repair while our sensors are whited out. And we're under too much attack to repair right now. There go the phaser torpedoes. Tachyon beams, spinal lance, or is it spiral, spinal? Boost morale, just in case. Structure integrity. Reverse shield polarity. Because my shields are, and science team, my shields are going down big time. Tachyon beam. Focused frenzy. Now this is quite the challenge. There's usually one left. Why, I wonder? Not now. Lovely. I like the effects from these torpedoes. I don't know what half of them are, but they're just fun. And the good thing about this boat is you can transfer out your torpedoes for other ones. Now we can depart the system because the cooperative are safe. A cube coming towards the screen. You'll be assimilated. Now that was fun. It was an awkward ship to fly, a nice challenge. But it was fun, but it's time for a team match now. Well, we'll do a popular one that everybody likes, Defensive Starbase 1. Because everybody's doing that at the moment, and you might like to see how this ship does in that. And hopefully the queue will pop quick. And we are on advanced for it as well. God, those three nacelles, they look like they pack power. these cannon things on the top, they don't actually do anything, I don't think. I think they're just cosmetic. Whereas in the TV show, I believe they actually fired like cannons do. And I believe this section on the back did some torpedo firing, but well, practicalities in the game means it has to be a bit different. I mean, we don't want to get our ships overpowered now, do we? We want them balanced. Who wants to kill everything and not have any risk of dying? Come on, Starbase 1, you usually pop by now. Maybe it's because I'm unadvanced. But look at that silhouette. That's just gorgeous. Eat your heart out, Captain Picard. I got a better ship than yours. Hell, eat your heart out, Captain Sean. Although this spinal lance, it could have been moulded into the hull a bit better. It looks like it's just been thrown onto a Galaxy class rather than moulded on. But then again, it is a refit ship, so perhaps Starfleet just weren't putting these phasers on these dreadnoughts until Commander Riker ordered one for his, and then they had to adapt it and makeshift build it. So I like the 4 impulse engines with the Aegis engine visual. Well, I hope we're not waiting forever for this team match. Ah, there we go. Oh no, I'm going to dive to the Discovery Klingons in Starbase 1. That looks like an upside down sword. This is going to be interesting. I hope.
Listen up.
Interesting challenge. Listen up, jolly hockey sticks. Jolly hockey sticks. Rah rah. Let's go have some tea. Earl Grey hot. Challenging.
Here they come.
You don't want to accidentally click attract fire on this ship. Oh, was that Chroniton, or was it something else that fired first for a change? Someone's got a gravity well. Oh, it looks like we've got some heavy hitters in here, and it's not me. Oh. Miraculous repairs. Did that chain to 5 targets? It's supposed to chain to... Oh, maybe someone else fired a Tachyon at the same time. Yep, someone's got some big firepower, but that's fine. I need all the help I can get in this boat. Wow, that bird of prey had some hit points. Let's put out a spread if we can get within range of a bunch of them. There's a slight weapon bug in this match where your weapons go the wrong way, but they do come back. It's just an animation glitch. No spread available, which is a shame. I'm spamming too much to get that spread. Some of the criticals coming off are quite interesting numbers. I like it when the spinal launch, or spiral, whatever it's called, actually goes straight through the enemy. Alright, we launched a point defense, but I doubt it'll get there in time with this team. We've got a good team here, which is thank the gods for. Because I think I need it with this ship.
Reading some heavier ships incoming. Raiders and battle cruisers.
I should have gone for a spread, I keep forgetting. Oh, hit that. Brace for impact. I was too close to a explosion there, but I didn't really need it, to be honest. I wasn't as close as I thought. And now the slow turn rate, emergency powered engines, tachyon beam. Try not to spam until spread comes back up. And there's a... Oh, can we turn? Can we get it? Can we get a spread off? No, we didn't get it off in time. This team's too good at... efficient at destroying the enemy. Oh, must remember, protect this ship. Must remember, I always forget to do that. I get too involved in blasting. There we go. Now that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to take advantage of that guy's gravity well and give him a good spread. Why did I hit brace for impact? Maybe I'm getting a little nervous. Neutronics. I like that neutronic effect, it looks very sciencey. Let's put a point defense in just in case he sucks in more enemies. And it might survive. I should really hit anti-time, but I've left it too late. There's not enough ships grouped together to make it worth wasting. Oh yes, there is. There we go. Bit of speed on to get rid of those, out of the way of those explosions. That didn't line up quick enough, and flew right back into an explosion. Well, we'll leave that one until he's completed his journey. No? Alright then. No. Don't bother leaving the last ship until he's completed his journey. No, just trigger the next phase so they can destroy him.
Here come the Klingon battleships.
That's fine, as long as you're caught up in the battle like me, having fun rather than practicality. Got 2 shots from the Lance that time. Tachyon. Not Tachyon, Tetryon. Yep, you can fly away from the target in this and still keep damaging them because it's got pretty good torpedoes on the back as well. When I put spread on, I noticed that Quantum Torpedo does tend to enjoy the spread more than most. It comes out more often with a Quantum. I think the Quantum spread fire loads quicker than the others. I just dropped a decoy. And I'm just spamming crazy now because I can't really see what's going on. 3 seconds, 2, 1, spread! See, a quantum again. I think you get quantum more often with spread than you do. The high yield is usually the Chronitons. I don't keep track of what I'm firing. I just like to see the surprise. No, I haven't got a spread available, but that's okay. And I didn't tab target in time. Now I've got a spread. Chroniton spread that time. Wow.
That'll hold them off for now.
This is a very challenging ship. But it's so much fun. I keep saying challenging ship, it's challenging build. Anyway, that was Starbase 1 on Advance with a good team by the looks of things. I didn't see whether we got the optionals or not. I assume so with a team like that. Not that I really care about that sort of thing. Not unless I'm doing a DPS one, which I rarely do these days. My DPS ones consist of getting my ship to feel as powerful as I like it, but not really maxing it out. Because I like a bit of survivability nowadays. Okay, so what's the next team match we should do? Crystal! No, not in this ship. I won't be able to escape the crystal blast wave quick enough. I'll end up blowing up. That would have been a good idea for a torpedo boat though, but no. Yeah, alright then. What the hell? You probably learn more from seeing me blow up from than anything else, really. I'm not afraid of Crystal. I should be. Actually, I do like to do Kittimer in this as well. So I'll queue for Kittimer and we'll see which one we get. And Kittimer came up straight away. Obviously the world wants me to play Kittimer. The fates. I'm quite happy to play Kittimer in this. I'm a bit slow, as I say. This ship is very slow and its turn rate's terrible. But then again, it is a big ship. It's a Galaxy class. And there's an even bigger one. Oh, Discovery Connie in here. That's going to launch a lot of pets. Nice spread to start with. I'll stop here. Tachyon beam, spinal lance, structural integrity collapse, focus frenzy, keep on firing. What happened there? Somebody had something weird. Now, which way are the others going? I suppose I've got to go this way then. No choice really. I wanted to go the easy side. You have to be careful around the gate in this ship because the gate does tend to hit you with its tachyon drain. Come on, finish it off. There we go. Oh, I went too high up. Here come the big ship. Bit of a basic manoeuvre so I can get in position. Fire everything I've got, if it will fire. Am I too far away? Why am I not firing? There we go. Bit of lag, I think. Where's my resistances? Lots of keybinds spamming. Can we get that before we have to get the probes? I think there's someone helping now. I remodulated at the wrong time. I think this is more interesting than Crystal. Because it's the struggle of challenge. Now let's get into position. Oh, I don't know if Tachyon beam does anything there. Oh, that's a lot of lag. Or structure integrity collapse. Why am I not firing? Did the Borg put a drain on me or something? No, I think it's the lag that's stopping me from firing. I don't think I'm actually stopping firing, it's just the lag is making it look like I am. Nice gravity well. Whoever did that. And I wasn't quick enough with my anti-time. Oh, I can hear coalitions coming in. Somebody's using the coalitions. They're good weapons, but I used them too much and got bored of them. Ah, yep, the left side came over to help the right side, which is as it should be. The left side is the easy side, and if the right side has to go and help them, that's just not right. I reckon it's that Romulan ship doing some good damage. That big Romulan thing. The trouble with Dreadnought is you can never get in position right. You always end up making a cloak because of your drift. You can never time the stopping just right. Ah, just missed anti-time on her. She's going that way somewhere else. Is that her? Nope, there she is. Can we get her? Race for impact just in case. Now that was fun! Yeah, I'm going to give him a good game for that. I forgot to do it in the last match. I always like to try and give a good game if I can remember to, if I enjoyed the match. And I did. Shall we go through the time vortex? See what happens. Nothing happens, but it's good for screenshots. Wow, wow, do 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 do. Bit of Doctor Who. Whoa, nice. Now there's a screenshot. I didn't take it, but there would be one. Oh, somebody left a loot box behind. I'm not going all out to get that Section 31 ship, but I have recently rewatched Discovery episodes, and it looks like a pretty good ship, so I will... That's the block box that's around at the moment, the Section 31 block box. I haven't gone all out to get that ship, but I will spend some of my energy credits on keys from time to time to get it, to see if I get lucky, but I won't be too bothered if I'm not lucky. But it does look like a good ship after rewatching the episodes that it's in, the TV episodes. I mean, on the TV show it had this hologram thing that disguised it as an asteroid. I just hope the AI doesn't kick off my crew. Oh, anyone who says Discovery is bad is allowing negative reviewing YouTubers to think for them. My advice, think for yourself and judge the show for yourself. Don't allow a YouTuber to do it for you. Discovery is a great show, and Michael Burnham was never supposed to be a perfect character. She was supposed to have a human forgivable flaw where she grew up on Vulcan and it's made her headstrong. And that's how she's supposed to be. But she's learning to soften up a bit. Anyway, that's my rant about Discovery. I like it and everybody else hates it, so to hell with everybody who hates it. I'm going to do one more before I end this video. What would be an interesting one to do? I'm thinking Azure Nebula might be interesting. Although I'm tempted to do Crystal, though I don't think I'll survive that one. Because I'm not fast enough. Certainly not doing any more Borg. You just have to take my word for it that this is between 40 and 50k ships, so it's not super powerful, but it's powerful enough. I won't do Swarm. That'd be silly in this ship. Yeah, we'll do Azure Nebula. That one might take a while to pop though, because I doubt there'd be people queuing for it. We'll probably just have to wait for a random team. We could try Breach, although I'll probably get caught in the reactors. So I think I'll queue that one up as well, just in case, and see which one comes up first. This ship has too much drift for Breach, I think. I don't think there's anything I actually want to do. I wouldn't mind Gateway to Greffor, but I've done that a lot lately. Undyne Assault, you have to turn a bit fast in that to keep up with the Undyne ships. Yeah, I think these two, whichever one comes up first from these two is good enough. I'm hoping it's Breach now, although Azure Nebula would be interesting. One thing I've noticed doing randoms is the Vault used to come up a lot, but not so much anymore. But I'm not doing randoms at the moment. Anyway, you don't want to look at this screen while we're waiting. You want me to fly about a bit, I bet, just while waiting. Where's that system where you rescue ships and escort them to safety? I mean, that's a beautiful looking system. But I think breach might come up pretty quickly. So we might not need that. Go sit in the Jonolan sphere for a bit. Kill some time while we wait for this patrol, save me having to edit the video because I haven't got any editing software and I don't know if YouTube can edit videos that you upload. I don't think it does it very well. Oh, here we go, we got breach. We'll stop here. Whoa, look at that drift. It's like you do a skid mark in a starship. You can imagine the brakes going as it screeches and leaves tyre stains across space. This video's turned out to be a little longer, but I just love this ship and I want to show it off. I may not be the best at flying these kind of things, but it's fun. It's a lot better than my Husnock review, where I was a bit ragging on it. This ship won't be able to keep up with the other people, so, and it won't be able to hit the hard points. Oh, that's fine. Oh, is that another Galaxy Dread? Nice. I bet he's got way better stuff than me. I'm just hoping it's another torpedo boat. Oh, nice Ferengi ship there. I wonder if that's the Nagus. I'd love to have a Nagus. I've got a Ferengi character who's all theme and would love it. Well, no, torpedo's not quick enough. Whoa, hang on, don't stop. Spread. Just spam the hell out of it and hope you hit something. Nope, run out of torpedo power. Nope, not able to hit anything. Well, I got the last one. Oh, that's the last one. Right, put on a bit of evasive manoeuvres to get me going towards that speed boost point. Whoa, too fast! I think this match is quite popular among people. I see a lot of people playing this on Twitch. Stop targeting the ones behind me! You're turning my camera away. Come on, spread. There we are. Tab target a little. Come on, fire it then. Maybe I wasn't quite in the right arc. It's probably because I'm used to playing this on normal difficulty. On my different characters. My lesser developed characters. Have I got another spread coming up? That might be ideal. Now stop. Turn the rear. Turn your ass towards it. Don't reverse into it though. Now this is a challenge worthy of a torpedo slow moving lumbering lump of ship. I wonder if somebody's made the rally point yet. Hope so, because this is going to be not weird. Right, slow me engines right down. And then keep going. Not going to hit evasive manoeuvres. I'll wait for somebody to get to the rally point, I think. I'm surprised this boat don't rip a breach in the hull of the Voth City ship. Just because it's torpedo. Oh, I don't care about avoiding these plasma streams. I only avoid them a little bit. Because they don't kill you. Hang on, did I go the wrong way? I don't think so. This is not a match I'm too familiar with, but I know a little bit about how it's played, but not much. Not as much as I do other matches. But there we are, I didn't go the wrong way. Come on, don't let me downturn, right? Ah, somebody's made it. Thank God for that. Normally I don't like it when they jump ahead like that, but in this instance I'm quite happy. Actually, I don't think he did jump ahead, I think he was just in a fast ship. Well, I'm not gonna try. I'm not gonna risk in this ship. What I'm worried about is getting out when the explosion happens and the core goes up. Hopefully, I can get out in time. No, missed that. Oh, I've got too much aggro now. I got a bit too happy with this ship and a bit too excited. Come on, tap target. Now, do I need to close doors, or are people taking care of it? Bloody science ships misdirecting my fire. This ship's looking better than I expected in this match. Are the guys taking care of the doors okay? Yep, looks like it. I think it's because I'm used to playing on normal on my other characters that you don't have to worry about it on advanced, because people generally actually do the mission correctly. Actually, I better put on some resistance because torpedoes away. Come on, get closer to the door. Oh yeah, I went too slow. There we go. Why did I spread him? Right, that door's closed. One more. And there's a ship to rescue over there as well. Basic manoeuvres will help me get there quicker. Send power. Ah! Drift. Close door. A bit more speed. I nearly locked myself out. I wonder if you can do that. I doubt it. Trying to remember all the different things I've got to do here. Oh, didn't need my phaser lance. How we doing, team? Am I letting you down? Right. Here we go, here we go. Drop force field. Come on, team, here we go. I got the door open for you. Oh, that looks good with hazard emitters on it. Is that a Dreadnought? Is that the same ship as mine? Looks it. Looks like he's having the same trouble doing the turnings that I'm doing as well. Right, down there, down there. Down there to rescue the ship, if we rescue it. Why I didn't put on a torpedo spread, I overshot it as well. Rescue, that's the important thing, got to do that first of all. And I've not got the turn rate. There we go. Speed, hull repair. That was piss poor. But then again, that's nothing new. Die! Rescue, rescue, come on, let's get closer, closer, closer. Oh, somebody else got it by the looks of things. Any more to rescue? I don't know where the other ones are. And do we want to get these things? I mean, some guy's intent on fighting the Dread. Oh, my shuttles are attacking it already, my Delta Flyers. I usually like to clean up these things because I'm obsessive compulsive about these sort of things. Although I don't put that on other people and expect them to do it. Oh, there is another ship that needs rescuing. I got that just in the nick of time. I might have sacrificed myself to do it. Come on, turn, turn. You've got to get the enemy into your firing arc somehow. Did we kill them all? And the Dread's almost down. I didn't really need to attack it, but then I probably would have blew up if I did. No, I've missed it. I got a torpedo spread off, but it blew before the spread hit. I was too busy cleaning up the mess. That's my excuse and I'm sticking with it. It's not an excuse, but I'm sticking with it. Was I wrong to put evasive manoeuvres on for these corners? Yeah, probably, because it doesn't last long enough. Now, tight turn, tight turn, tight turn, slow right down. This is silly, doing a torpedo boat here. Watch it! No, don't open power. I thought that was the rescue the ship thing. Torpedo spread. Your fancy shields can't last forever. Whoa. Oh, no brace for impact. You really have to adjust your speed in here. Come on, did I rescue him? Yeah, somebody else got him. Good. I usually find people forget one that's over here, but this is advanced, so they're not likely to forget it so easily. And I hit the wrong speed. We're doing all this in a haphazard order, I believe. Well, I am. Is that ship over there safe yet? I keep forgetting I've got emergency powered engines on this boat. Send power instead of opening up the cores. That was the right thing to do. And the core is all the way over the other side. Damn. And they've already got it by the looks of things. I think somebody wanted to rush through this because it's not their favourite match, maybe. Yeah, there's no way to know what's going through the minds of other players. And I'm having fun, so I'm alright. They can do what they like. And I'm too busy concentrating on my ship to understand what they're doing. Right. We've got to open another one now and look for the question mark. It's not that one, so it must be this one. So I'll get close as I can and stop. Tachyon beam, spinal lance. There, we got it. And it got me by the looks of things. I wonder, is that I did get that loot. I thought it was a trick loot. Sometimes I've died trying to pick it up. Now after this I just hope I can get out without letting the team down. So I'll just where's the exit anyway? Not close. Whoa! It teleported me. Why did it go for me? Better put on some shielding and put out a decoy, calling Delta recruits, Delta reinforcements. We're a bit out of range. There we go. Stop here for a minute. Put the drain out, put the structure in technically collapse. I'm hitting the wrong thing now, but I'm too slow to maneuver. Evasive, power, shields, miraculous repairs, everything I've got. Put out a shield bubble. More drain. Everything I've got. Some resistances, structural integrity collapse, more shields. Come on, tactical team. More engineering, boost morale a bit. And where are we? Where's the exit? Come on, where's the exit? It's behind me, shit! Come on, come on, come on, don't let the team down. Emergency powder engines. nice wide turning circle, turning arc. Ah! And make it to the circle. We made it out! Yeah! Well, I did. I'm not looking at anyone else. Who cares if they made it out? As long as I did. Not everybody can. And it's not always their fault either. It's just mitigating circumstances like phone call, bug bite, wasp.
Your efforts have deprived the Voth of a valuable asset.
So 2020 allied ships only. Is 8 the number? How many are there? I don't know. I think there's 9 actually, so we might have missed one. And all players escaped. I don't know, you'll have to let me know in comments how many ships you have to save. Because I don't remember. So what marks do I want today? Since I get the choice. Competitive war games. Because I don't play those matches very often, so... Not that I need any marks. Nobody said good game, but I think I will. Oh, it came up in local, even though I'm on team. Well, that was it. That's a good way to end out the video, I think. Breach. A giant-ass torpedo boat in a even bigger giant-ass city ship. Alright, we'll go back to the Janolan Dyson Sphere. Have a brief look at the build again, so you know what I was flying, so you can remember what I was flying. And we can end the video where we started it off. Ooh, we've gone over 2 hours. My god, I just hope that my frame rate stayed up, because I was dropping frame rates from time to time. Oh look, there's a Discovery Connie. I'm so jealous. I've got all the Enterprises as tier 6 except that one. Oh, nice. That looks like a Miracle Worker ship. Engineering variant by the looks of things, which is fellow engineer. Nice. Anyway, reminding of the build. Look at all that loot. So, Chroniton, Neutronic, Quantum Phase, Advanced Radiant, Gravimetric, Terran, Tricobalt, and Agony. The Deflector boosts torpedoes. The 2 pieces of the adapted Mako boost torpedoes when together. Iconian just because it's a good core. Captain Archer's NX class console. The console that goes with the Terran Photon. 2 Lobby store. Speed and turn rate mostly. Torpedo damage. More shields. And crits. Resistances, because you really need them. I would love to put on another vulnerability exploiter, but I wanted to survive. And Delta Flies from the Dilithium store, because they're slightly better than because the ones that come with the ship are only rare. We've gone Command and Strategist and Tactical Ultimate. There's a look at the traits. They could use a little refining to meet my choice of playstyle. We've got the 2 Command torpedo damage abilities, and I forgot to show Chekhov off. He was a superior Romulan operative with the crit traits. And he's got torpedo spread 2 and high yield 3. I think high yield is more important on a torpedo boat than spread, although you really do need them both. But high yield, because you're firing torpedoes all the time and you want them to destroy your primary target, so you go with high yield, and spread is available between spamming the keybind, so you still get the occasional spread off. But because high yield is the one that goes off most often, since you want to kill your primary target, I've gone with high yield 3, leaving spread down for number 2. If that makes sense. I'd be amazed if it did. We got projectile crit chance, 2 projectile recharge time officers, a Tricobalt flight speed, and 2 damage control engineers to reduce emergency power 2, which is the auxiliary one. So there you go. Galaxy. Hang on a minute. Yep, we've got good hull. The shields look good. The resistances look good, but as you can see, it does all go down quite quickly on a torpedo boat for some reason, because it's probably generating a lot of threat. 160 crit severity. And not too fast, and terrible shield drains and control resistances. Tractor beams are a problem, but boost morale can take care of them, I believe. Just like what's the other one? Polarized hull. I think it works in a similar way for control effects, where tractor beams are concerned. Fleet Dreadnought Cruiser Tier 6, there's a S.T.O version of this that is almost as good. Well, this is all Lexington saying I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, maybe subscribe, and if you really want to take the piss out of me or give me some advice, or just have anything to say, please comment. I like to see comments. Thanks for watching my chocolate ship. More videos to come in the future on different ships and different builds, because I've got quite a few. I know I don't explain myself very well, but at least I can give the gist. This is Lexington signing off. Bye!